I can do better here. This is a showcase of how much Joe needs cheaters in his games. I will show from here up until the moment, and then like you'll see. Makes noise. Makes noise. Makes noise. Makes noise.
He actually still got me with the bleed, I don't believe it.
Don't know why.
Oh, double, is it? Can I get around this way? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There's another guy on my right? How did they move so close to me without making any footsteps? Unless there's a... I'm in duos, though, right?
He's gonna burn, as you can see here. So I will speed up the clip. I will turn down the volume, so you're not listening to like loud speed up version of what he says. He's gonna revive around down here when he's on the last bar, and you can see the ending. I will then slow down the clip.
Yeah, but I saw them
And
two in the
up
distance. I was
volume.
moving left, so I could get around the rock, and somehow there was another one on the angle. I don't know how they would have got there that fast. It couldn't have been. Unless there's two sets of duos, but they're not fighting with each other.
It's just one set of duo. That's the ending. You can see it right there. He's gonna go really close to it. It's a smart tactic on this sick here. Bit risky, but smart tactic. Horrible shot.
Little bitch. Like, where's this other guy? I can't hear this guy.
He's not moving around. And now you're gonna see how desperate he's gonna look for cheating.
I really need to there. Well... See, look at this, right? So... Am I on the right screen here, yeah? Right, so I see one of them there, that's one.
Okay, Grandpa, no reason to get all the way up in the monitor. If you can see them before, you can see them now.
The second one is there, so there's two dudes there, 1, 2. So I go to the left to try and get away from that
You can count.
angle. I get hit on that angle there. I go hard left. And the guy literally runs around with no footsteps and bang.
What I said initially here, when I just saw it, is sure, you get the indicator hard right. Sure, you do that. But because of how Hunt is built up and its client-sided decisions, you are then having a server that is attempting to predict how you, the player, is moving around. So the server says you're already swinging your way over to the rocks and then moving in that direction. So that is what you will continue to be doing. And That is why it says hard right. Because on the server, you're still swinging over. The player is not hard right. In fact, the player shows up, but Joe will not admit it because he will not give the actual nudges to show it.
Bangs me out on this hard right angle. Let me get out of this game here.
If you are suspecting them of using no footstep, you would spectate them so you know what's actually happening and how they're moving around. If you're suspecting them of aimbot, you would spectate them to gather more evidence into potentially crucifying them as being a cheater. Your entire YouTube channel, your entire Twitch channel is nothing but opinionated and an emotional rage. Nothing else. There is a kill cam. You can actually view the kill angle also. Joe didn't do that because that would tell him where he got killed from, and he refused to accept that. He's going to remove the sound.
Audio, let's turn the audio down. Here we go. So
I can
run it down here.
I can explain this with in-game actions.
And bang, one person
there, one person there. This guy here is running down here. That was my initial idea, and it was confirmed as Joe did this. That's the guy shooting him the first time. That's the guy killing him.
There, the other person's just there. So there's two people over there. So I get hit on this angle by this person here. So one of them's there. That angle,
Yes.
This angle's about to get blocked off here. So that person's here. The angle's getting blocked off here. Right, there's no one around here. There's no one.
At this moment in time, correct, Joe, there are no one here. But as you still continue to move, not being on a paused screen, someone can move over there. I will show it as Joe shows it.
Here to get this angle. That this is like, there's no way you can swing around here over this rock and take the shot. As soon as I look up and walk away, I get shot immediately.
As I said, the server takes it as Joe still swinging over, so it's a hard ride. But from this direction here, it's more up here actually. However, I will show
Immediately, like hard right is saying here. And it's like the guy just literally ran round with no footsteps, went bang, and hit me with the shotgun.
You would not be able to hear those footsteps as he's sidestepping. And you can actually see that he is sidestepping just a tiny bit. Look at the character. Be ready, because this character here blends in with the rocks slightly.
So, two dudes.
Yes.
Right, so this guy here, he hits me on that angle here, on this
Yes.
angle.
And you can see even that angle indicated right up here, which technically is a little too far to the right, but it isn't like outrageous.
Step up, like you got to run around this rock. You can't just run.
And the rock is obscuring obfuscating the sound coming from the person down there. Your dynamite and the shot is doing the exact same thing.
Here and shoot.
Now let me just go back here, mute Joe, because we don't need the sound for this. What we do need is this moment here, and here we go. I will slow it down. It's really fast. Let's see here. Because he just swings around. And he does it before Joe actually shows anything in regards to throwing the dynamite up. Look down here. There he is. He's right there. So I will do that again. Normal speed over to the slide moment. And then Joe talks here. I will slow it down again. Look one more time. I will let Joe say what he says here, but look down here. Look down here. You can see movement there, movement there. More movement, more movement. The character's right there. Right there. That's the character that kills Joe. And as I said, the game is predicting or attempting to predict what Joe will do next. He's gonna swing left, and that's what makes the hard right. The character's right down here. Again, I will let Joe talk, and now he swings over. You can see. So that is why it says hard right, not like up here where it probably should be. But yeah. Now see here. Joe's argument. Further argument.
So, two dudes. Right, so this guy here, he hits me on that angle here, on
That's
this
what you said
angle.
before.
Step up, like you got to run around this rock. You can't just run here and shoot to get
Nope.
an angle, right? You can't see anyone there. And then look, it's hard right. I'm getting shot.
You can't see anyone there because you're playing it at a normal speed. You're not using the nudges, those small arrows there. You're not using any of these to help indicate the possibility of someone being there. He was completely in the open down there. And you need people to cheat so much that you are intentionally hiding these little things.
Shot from. There's no evidence that there was anybody around there afterwards, though.
Incorrect, and I showed it. So I don't know why
Like,
it is.
after I die or whatever, he's just rezzing his mate. There's no evidence there's anybody else around.
Nope, because there are no one. But there is an indication of the teammate that you also killed being down there. There's that indication. I think it's the one you killed. But you refuse to show it. Even more because you had necro, you didn't see the angle you got shot at. And I understand, otherwise you would have wasted 4 points on 4 trade points on necro. Because if you see the kill cam, you won't be able to revive either. So I understand you didn't see it, but it would have helped to show. And now you're thinking, what can I attach for cheat?
Like when I got back up and started fighting, and there's no evidence of another team there.
There were no other
Right?
team.
There's no evidence of another person.
There is no other person. There are only those two. Only those two.
No, there's definitely two people there at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, only two people. I don't see two people at the start. You didn't? Like, one of them is running off, but how? You claim to be a 6-star and you're not seeing.
I'll export the clip out. Yeah, I'll export it out.
Okay, I didn't see this moment. I'll pause to see what he does. Oh. He did the thing he's so glad to be doing everything single time. But like, it's this year is also some of the things he does in some of his videos, and then he forgets he did it. That's why, for example, the one with Mexi D was randomly out of the blue super saturated. You can see it here.
Super saturation. Here we go. Pull it back a bit.
But you
You
can
can
actually
see there,
see,
one person's there, one person's there, second person's there. Look, you
yes.
see, there's two people there. Got the white shirt dude there, and the one with the darkest shirt there. This is the guy that whips around and kills me with the shotgun. This guy.
Then go forward and show that, Joe. And then now that you're at a place where you can slow down the clip, please, please. I actually didn't see him do this, but this is how much he needs someone to cheat. He only did this section here because APN said, I don't see two people at the start. This is the only reason why he did this. So I don't know if he's actually going to be slowing it down and honest about it. But to begin with, he needed cheating so bad that he didn't give them the opportunity to like appear legitimately. But running on this path down here with the shot happening and the dynamite will obfuscate the sound of the footstep as he sidesteps.
The white shirt here. This dude here is the one that's standing here taking shots from this angle. This guy comes to here. Dude, that again. I'm on. Oh, you're on about 16K, but you prestige. Yeah, exactly. I don't prestige. That's like all the money I've earned. I used to have 60K. I used to have like nearly 200K before the cheating got really bad. When the cheating got really bad, I went from like almost 200K down to 60K because of cheaters. That's the same player. No, there's one dude here up the top there, this guy here, and then this dude here.
Like even I can see that. So I agree with Joe on
Yeah,
that
so I had
part.
nearly 200K when there wasn't that many
Yes,
cheaters.
those
And then
that
when the
is a
cheating
player.
got worse, I went all the way down to 60K. Yeah, this is a player there. See, you see, he's the player. See, he's there. Look, it's a player. It's not. It's a player. Look, it's a player.
I don't know if APN is blind.
Right, that's a player there. Look, that's a player. That's a dude. That's another. That's a player, and this is a dude. This guy goes left, and this guy comes round. You ready? Look, you see, he's a player. You can just see the foot of the other guy going left. So this guy's the one that shoots from me on the angle going across this way, and this guy, and then
Again, I will pause to see if Joe actually does that. Like goes forward and then slows down the clip. Joe was not zooming in at this edge here. He was zooming in on the player falling. I will just show that in speed up version because it's not relevant to the entire thing of his death. So you can see here. Uh, he will argue that it somewhat looks like speed hack, that this guy here is actually falling down, but he realizes by zooming in that it's a falling motion. But even to initially think that it remotely close gets to speed hack just because of that is like delusional, because he needs cheat so to happen so much. I will slow down when he starts talking about it. So you actually can hear it also. It's not relevant to his death, but it's still fun
I have a shotgun.
to listen to.
That looks a bit weird, actually.
See,
Is he falling off the rock, or is that momentary speed hacks caught? I mean, he might just be falling off the rock.
but to have it as an option, Joe, to even remotely think it it's speed hack. Like, I cannot fathom why it needs to be an option for you.
You see, he, like, jumps forward a little bit. He jumps forward a little bit. I don't know if he's just falling down the rock there, or if he was just, like, the speed boosted forward a little bit.
See, you don't know. So don't
I
make it
can
an
zoom in a
option.
bit. Let me, I can zoom in on this shit. Go away. Go away. Here in the back computer. Getting the back computer, I've got to do analysis. I've got to do analysis.
And there you have an argument for Joe being delusional and insanely needing the situation for him being a type of hero. But of course, he's joking about it. Yet he calls himself Captain Blue, Omega Blue, Joe Blue, the anti cheater. Like, he has so much desire to being a type of hero sort.
Of the footage. Um, um, I think he's just falling off the rock, isn't it? It looks a bit weird. That's all it is.
But see, he needs to analyze this as much as possible in order to find something he can grab the person being a cheater on as whatever you want to call it. And then here, just to show that he's not doing more with it, you can see. And back to the game. So he's not doing much extra in order to figure out that the guy actually appeared. He's just like, and this here is why people like Joe cannot be trusted at all, because their initial thought is it needs to be cheat, it needs to be bad, it needs to be criminal. Like, I can explain it with in-game mechanics without anything extra. Going back to it, the guy appears down here. Joe got shot, which makes sounds, which makes sound. Joe is cooking the grenade, which makes sound. The footsteps are behind the rock formation, which lowers the quality of audio that he is making as he is running down here, and he sidesteps out, which is what kills Joe. You can see here. Oh, this is the first moment he goes over it. And he will slowly appear right there. Oh, Joe actually paused in that moment. I didn't even see that the first time. I just saw that right now. Let's see here. Can I capture it? Or will I let it slip? All right. Does the symbol change from play to pause? Then back to play again. So now it's pause symbol. And then it's play with the character right there. I honestly think Joe saw this and then continued, because then he starts arguing when the character is out of the way in further attempt to make him be a cheater. Like, he intentionally does these like small things to fabricate evidence, and that, my friends, are the reason you cannot trust Joe Blue.